Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to everybody. Happy Friday here on the Lewis Sports Network. Shout out to the LSN Mod Squad, new subscribers everywhere, and to people out there in YouTube land. It is your boy Lewis coming back at you with another live stream with yet another video. Make sure you guys do these things as you guys come in. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, make sure your notifications are turned on. Make sure you guys are sharing this on your social medias and Reddit. I truly appreciate it. So once again, let me know who is in the building. Our topic today for tonight is Dirk Nowitzki versus Hakeem Olajuwon, who was the greatest foreign player ever to lace him up in the NBA. Two of the greatest to ever do it. Shout out to Bronco Fanatic in the building. Appreciate you coming through. Shout out to Jaden Dodd. What is going on, man? Make sure to give the video a thumbs up as you guys come in. Make sure you guys are sharing it on your social media outlets. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the Lewis Sports Network. We're talking about Dirk Nowitzki and we're talking about Hakeem Olajuwon. When it comes to these two foreign players, we are trying to configure with the chat, who do you think is the greatest foreign player ever? Bronco Fanatic has got Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay, now what I want people to be doing in the chat is I want you to make your case as to why do you think Hakeem is the greatest foreign-born player of all time, or why do you think Dirk Nowitzki, in your eyes, is the greatest foreign-born player of all time? Shout out to Poseidon Swag in the building. Appreciate you. He says that you heard that the Redskins are changing their name. I heard it. I heard Daniel Snyder was actually talking about it today. They said they were going to go, they were talking some things about going through the process, and, it's because it's disrespectful to Native Americans. So that's why they're going over there. Shout out to Jay in the building. Appreciate you. So guys, make your cases as to why you guys think that either Hakeem is the greatest or Dirk is the greatest, and then we're gonna basically, try to see what we can do to try to determine who's the best, because these are two of the greatest to ever do it. Shout out to Ron Cowan in the building, man. Appreciate it. And what up, Ryan? And I also have heard that the Brooklyn Nets. I'm actually going to do a video on that tomorrow. Brooklyn Nets have offered Greg Popovich. They're planning to offer Greg Popovich a contract to coach the Brooklyn Nets. I will be doing a video on that tomorrow. Okay, Poseidon has got Hakeem because he thinks that he is the second most skilled player behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You can make the case that Hakeem is arguably the most skilled big man in the history of the NBA. And Kareem did have skills, but again, he wasn't allowed to showcase that because of the fact that what coaches told them is he was supposed to do what a center, does. You play like a traditional center. Man, I mean, there's some things that I gotta talk about to make sure. And Jay says some of the best European players that he's ever seen are guys like Drazen Petrovic. He's the only player in the Hall of Fame that only played 4 seasons in his career that is in the Hall of Fame, but he definitely would have been one of the greatest to ever play, especially when it comes to shooters. It's just his career ended so soon in the car accident in '93. He says also Pau Gasol and Dirk. You're absolutely right about that. Poseidon is even though Hakeem has better skills than Dirk, but Dirk has got better durability. Poseidon said Hakeem took a 6-seeded team to a championship. And Ron says that he thinks that Hakeem was a little more skilled than Kareem. And I got to tell you, both of these guys influence. Pager would be a Klay Thompson in today's game. Oh, absolutely. Facts. Facts, Poseidon. Big facts. Ryan says Dirk has a better perimeter game than Hakeem. But Hakeem wasn't too bad from the perimeter, at least in terms of his mid-range shot, even though he operated, more so in the low post. Bronco Fanatic says Hakeem is the best shot blocker. He's the better defender. He's got 2 rings. He played in a much harder era. He has more points per game than Dirk, more assists, more rebounds, blocks, steals, and he's one of 2 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and MVP in the same season. The only other player to do that is the GOAT, MJ. Dirk had a one-legged step back. I mean, yeah, but for a one-legged step back, I mean, it's lethal. A lot of players use that move today. Kobe Bryant was on record as saying that Dirk invented the one-legged step back, but he perfected it. I'm going to put these guys head to head, and then we're going to talk about play style with Hakeem Olajuwon and Dirk Nowitzki. Shout out to whoever gave me the idea about this video. Shout out to whoever gave me the idea about this video. I wanted to do it to show both of these players their proper respect. I'm going to check these guys out right now. Where am I at? There we go. I wanted to click that off. There you go. Okay. Smash the like. Hit the subscribe. Okay. Bronco says that he has Dirk as the best European player. And Ryan says, I thought the 95 Rockets with Clyde would have a better record than the 94 team and thought the 95 team would be the best in the West with that roster. Poseidon says if social media existed in 07, Dirk would have gotten toasted, man, because he had choked against those 8th-seeded Golden State Warriors, the We Believe team. Yeah, the 95 team did have Clyde. All right, let's take a look at Dirk's career. He played 21 seasons. He is from Würzburg, Germany. He was the 9th pick in the 1998 NBA draft by the Dallas Mavericks. Oh, actually, no. Sorry. He was drafted by Milwaukee, but he got traded on draft day. He got traded. Wow, the Milwaukee Bucks. What could have been if they had Dirk Nowitzki? There's only one dream. That's right. Anybody like sports? Shout out to my man Sly in the building. Make sure y'all go subscribe to this channel if you guys have not yet. Sly's put in some pretty good content over there. Again, hit that like. Subscribe to the channel. All right, if we look at Dirk Nowitzki, when it comes to his stats, he is a 14-time All-Star. He is a 2011 NBA champion. He's the 2010-2011 Finals MVP. He made 12 All-NBA teams, and he was the 2006-2007 regular season MVP. For his career, he averaged 20 points per game, 7.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 47% from the field, 38% from the three-point line, 88% from the free throw line. Dirk is nearly flirting with a 50-40-90 in his career. That's unbelievable. 21 seasons and his career numbers are nearly flirting with a 50-40-90, and his win shares were 206. His win shares were 206. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Imagine. What if Dirk Nowitzki was with Ray Allen? True that. Ryan said, I heard that a bubble number 2 was in the rumblings to be available in Chicago. I've been hearing about that too. Luka's going to pass Dirk as the greatest European player if he has no injuries. I say minimum of 2 rings for Luka. And Ryan says, shout out to everybody in the chat. No doubt. Bronco Fanatic says, you should do a video of what if Steve Nash was brought back by the Mavs with Dirk. What particular year, though? Are you talking about 2006? 2007? Like what year? Shout out to Black Tiger, appreciate you. He says that in his opinion, he feels that Hakeem is the best big. Okay. And anybody like sports has said, what if Dirk and Ray Allen teamed up? That would have been crazy. Whatchamacallit? Jay says in the NBA, you say Dirk. When it comes to international basketball, Dirk doesn't come close to Petrovic or Pau Gasol. Okay. Hakeem had to battle from Moses to Shaq. Bronco Poseidon, Black Tiger, anybody, Ron. And then with Dirk Nowitzki, you could say he battled Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Chris Webber, Hakeem, Shaq, Patrick Ewing, Moses Malone, like you just said. I never wanted National League Dallas. I feel you. Bronco says Petrovic only played 4 seasons though. Powell ain't coming close. Bye. I gotta go. All right, man. Appreciate you coming through, Bronco fanatic. 2006, Steve Nash stayed with Dirk. They would have won the chip against the Miami Heat. I do wonder if Steve Nash would have played all those minutes that he was playing with Mike D'Antoni. I don't think so. I don't think so. So Dirk is, check this out with Dirk. This is Dirk's resume. He helped lead the Dallas Mavericks to 11 consecutive 50-win seasons and 12 50-win seasons overall in his 21 seasons. Before Dirks arrived to the Dallas Mavericks, the Mavs had only 6 playoff appearances in their first 18 seasons. 6 playoff appearances in 18 seasons, and in 21 seasons, the Mavs went 12 times. They won 12 times. They won 50 games 11 years in a row and was able to win a championship in one of those 50-win seasons, which would be 2011. And check this out. Players with 28,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. At least 28,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. Here are the players. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Will Chamberlain, Karl Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, and Dirk Nowitzki. Dirk is only one of 5 players in NBA history with 28,000 points and 10,000 rebounds. But check this out. Dirk is actually the only player with 28,000 points or more, because he's obviously over 30,000, 10,000 rebounds, and 1,600 threes made. This guy was not even a MVP candidate. When he didn't even look like an MVP candidate when he first came into the league. He only scored 385 points in his rookie season. And this guy turned 385 points in his rookie season. It looked like when Dirk was going to be out of the league to a Hall of Famer, to a Hall of Fame career. I mean, this is a 7-foot power forward who had his game in the perimeter. And he said he never wanted Nash to leave. He said Powell is better than Dirk. No. Not if he was on the 2006 Mavs. They would have won the chip. Ron says Hakeem took a team in 94 that was him and a bunch of good role players and won a chip. But Dirk's longevity and all-time numbers are nothing to sneeze at. And he got a chip against Miami. As a matter of fact, you got to look. The funny thing is, Hakeem's 94 and 95 title runs are very impressive. The 95 one is obviously the most because they were a 6 seed. They only won 47 games, and they weren't predicted to win the NBA title. So, as Bob Costas has said in the 95 playoffs, the Rockets ran off what was supposed to be known as the steeplechase, which is crazy. Shout out to Sports Critic. Make sure you guys go subscribe to his channel. Producing great content over there. His Orlando, congratulations, Amir, for your Orlando Magic 2020 NBA champions. If we can only dream. Amir had a dream and he won a championship in 2K with the Orlando Magic. So congratulations on the championship. Poseidon says, you think Dirk would have had a better case if the refs didn't rig the 2006 NBA Finals? Yeah, because that would have put him at 2 championships. The thing is also the team, he would have beaten Dwayne Wade twice. He also would have beaten Shaq on that team. Alonzo Mourning was obviously past his prime offensively, but he came in and still was playing terrific defense, especially in those 2006 playoffs. So if you put him in there, if he wins another championship, because think of who Dirk beats. Dwayne Wade is a future Hall of Famer. Shaq is a future Hall of Fame. He's already in the Hall of Fame, but I'm just saying at the time, if he would have beat them, then he comes back and then he beats Wade, LeBron, and Bosh. Like, Dirk would have beaten 2 different versions of the Miami Heat. A veteran team, Miami Heat, and then a player prime created super team with Bron, Wade, and Bosh. I mean, Dirk's case goes way up there. And just imagine if his Mavericks win a 2007 NBA championship with the best record in the league and him winning the MVP. Dirk's case is even stronger because then he would have repeated. International ball is the consideration of all international play. Dirk played better in the NBA. No, not, Hakeem is the #1 shot blocker of all time. And sports critic, as he said, Olajuwon was better. Appreciate that, Valix, man. You are the man, no doubt. You are the man for just being here. What would Dirk's career be like if he didn't add a post game? He would just mostly be a perimeter player. The post game really did him, big. I appreciate that. Pal wasn't a superstar. That's why Kobe deserves a top 5. He won 2 rings as the only superstar on the team. I don't know about that. But what is true is that Kobe did win two championships as the main guy, and he was able to do that without Shaq. I do agree with you on that. The top 5, that's your opinion. Yeah, he's #1 all time. Olajuwon is #1 all time in shot blocks with block shots with 3,830 career blocks. Those are Olajuwon's numbers. He's not in the top 15. He's #1 all time. And he did that at 6'10", mind you, with the 7-footers that played in the NBA. He did that at 6'10". Let that sink in. I'm doing great, Amir. Hope everything is good with you. Dirk's ring counts as 2 if that was possible. Kobe's ring against Boston counts as 2 as well. Let's see. Ryan, shouldn't you be prepared for the Daytona 500? I know you love Kobe. It's all good, man. I know you love Kobe. That's fine. That's all good. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you want to be real, he's 6'9". I get all that, but the shoes and all that, I'm just saying how he was listed. I'm just saying how he was listed. But I'm saying for Olajuwon to do that at his height is crazy. Um, yeah, Dirk was one of the one of the real like. I mean, he wasn't the first like stretch big man, but I think he was probably one of the more efficient stretch 7-footers. Um, and he was doing it when post play was really emphasized for big men, so that's the thing. Because the 2000s was about the low post game. It was about inside out. And Dirk played the 3 because he started as a small forward, and then he ended up playing foul forward. So he played a mix of 3 and 4. He played more power forward later in his career, but he started as a 3. So you're talking about a 7-foot small forward going to the power forward position, giving dudes the business. I mean, you look at some of Dirk's seasons. Dirk shot 50% twice in his career. Hakeem Olajuwon from Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. #1 overall pick in the '84 draft. Everybody knows about that '84 draft, the historic '84 draft. So let's check out Hakeem's accomplishments. 12-time All-Star, 2 times led the league in rebounding, 3 times led the league in blocks, 2-time NBA champion, 9 All-NBA defensive teams, 12-time All-NBA, Rookie of the Year in the '84. Oh no, I'm sorry. He made the All-Rookie team in '84-'85. I'm like, wait a minute. Michael was Rookie of the Year. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, was the MVP in 1994, and he is the two-time Finals MVP. He's a 2-time Finals MVP. He played for 3 teams. Actually, no, he played for 2 teams. He played for the Houston Rockets from 1985 to 2001, and then he played his final season with the Toronto Raptors with Vince Carter. Dirk was definitely arguably the more durable player. Hakeem, wow, Hakeem, damn man. Look at that. Even in Hakeem's last season, ladies and gentlemen, and he only played 61 games, he still shot 46% at age 39. And in his last year before he left Houston, and he only played 58 games that year, He still shot 49%. He still shot 49%. And even during the lockout season at 36 years old, Hakeem still shot 51.4%. Hakeem's career field goal percentage is 51%. Hakeem shot 50% or better 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Look at that. In 14 of Hakeem's 17 seasons, he shot 50% or better. Dirk, if we look at his career, and I'll be checking the chat in a second. Actually, let me go back to the chat. Let's just go back. Okay. Hakeem is top 10 on my list. Dirk is top 20. I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I think Hakeem is one of the more disrespected, underrated all-time greats. People act like Hakeem wasn't nice like that. Do you think if you switch Powell for Dirk to the Lakers, would Dirk have the same success as Powell and great chemistry as well? Well, if you remember, Kobe was trying to recruit Dirk Nowitzki to come to the Lakers. I think this was around 20 after the 2013 season. Kobe was trying to get Dirk to come to Los Angeles. He was trying to get him to talk. But that's what was going on. So again, guys, smash the like, hit that subscribe. Everybody in the chat is lit right now. Again, smash the like, hit that subscribe. Make sure this is being shared on your social media outlets. Let me just continue. I don't think it's crazy because I don't think it would have been the same effect, especially with the way Kobe is. McHale was the first stretch I know of, man. Then came Patrick. Dirk is the one that pioneers for big men to shoot the basketball. Black Tiger says if Embiid took his body and the game seriously, he would be the next Hakeem. I always call him the Hakeem prototype. You know how I say about that, Poseidon. Let me just continue. Ryan said, okay. I don't think so. Dirk is not a defensive presence like Gasol. Hakeem's resume is impressive as a top 5, as you could say. There's a guy with the same name as you in NASCAR. Oh, I see what he means. Okay. Powell was perfect with Kobe, especially in the pick and roll game. Kobe and Dirk wouldn't have clicked as well or as quick. Kobe and Powell clicked in less than one game. Yeah, because Kobe is more pick and roll. Dirk is more pick and pop. But Pau Gasol and Kobe, they complemented each other so well because of the pick and roll, which is what Kobe did with Shaq. The crazy part about Kobe and Powell, they had great chemistry together, and they clicked so fast. And that's how Kobe. I gotta say this. I gotta give Kobe this amount of credit, like his ability to work with 2 different bigs. I mean, I gotta give him credit. I give Kobe credit for that. The Dream wins this hands down. Not even a competition in my eyes. What's popping? Shout out to Anonymous. Appreciate you coming through. Jay says, Reggie, do you think Jordan avoided a finals loss against Houston if he played in the 95 season? I'm guessing you're saying the entire 95 because he only played 17 games that year. They would have lost because there was no power forward. There was really no big man to go up against Hakeem. And if you listen to Jordan, the Bulls were actually weak at the power forward spot, which is what Dennis Rodman provided them in the offseason the very next year. So that was big because I don't think we would be talking with Jordan with the 3 extra championships had Dennis Rodman not come on the team because they really lacked the power forward. And if y'all remember in '95 when the Magic celebrated on the Bulls home floor, Horace Grant was put on the shoulders by some Magic players, and he was just rejoicing because he had played with the Bulls, and we already know his beef with Jordan. So I still got Hakeem winning the '95 title. I mean, Kenny Smith came out earlier today, and he said that even if Jordan was not retired, he still felt that the Rockets would have won back-to-back titles. And it's possible, and I would say that it's possible. I would give the Bulls a chance in '94, but I don't think they would have won it in '95 because I, I wonder if the Bulls would have had enough legs to four-peat. Maybe Jordan gets that rest. We don't know. Um, Ryan says, I remember that 2011 NBA Finals, man, with Dirk was at the basket and pump fake, and Mike Miller fell, and Dirk flopped. It was hilarious from seeing his reaction to the foul. In their prime, who you got, Hakeem or Tim Duncan? Dirk may be able to shoot the ball, but give me somebody who can consistently score on the low block with the footwork that Hakeem had. And the thing is, he has defense. Appreciate Chiefs fan in the building. Appreciate you. Um, Jay says the first sort of stretch big that I remember was Bob McAdoo, especially in his prime. McAdoo had a really great. I didn't watch Bob McAdoo play, but and I'm pretty sure you did, Ron. But um, Bob McAdoo from the highlights, man, he had a terrific mid-range game. Was a beast of a scorer in his prime. Um, Nobody's beating Jordan. Nah, Jordan would get beat in '95. Trust me. The Rockets had their chance to repeat, to three-peat, but they got swept by Seattle in the second round. Black Tiger says the '95 Rockets or the '06 Mavs. I'm gonna go with the '95 Rockets. I love when Reggie calls the fouls and acting like he was hit by a bus. Well, he had to do it because Reggie was a shooter, man. Like Reggie didn't have the physical. He wasn't blessed with the physical gifts like some of these players, um, like a MJ. You know, like some of the forwards. He wasn't blessed with that kind of talent, so he had to do what he had to do. So that's why he would draw fouls like that by kicking his leg out. Reggie sometimes would act like he got hit by a truck and it sent him flying just to get a foul. I mean, remember, he was one of the originators of kicking his leg out when he shoots. Chauncey Billups had picked up on that, and he would do it. But Chauncey kind of made his a little more obvious because he would kick both his feet in the air. Reggie would just slide his right foot he would take his right foot and put it in between your left and right leg, and then he would fall, and then he would try to sell the call when he shoots. So that's the thing with a shooter. You have to be careful when you guard a shooter, especially when you're closing the space, because what they'll try to do is initiate the contact, and that's what Reggie did, which a lot of shooters ended up copying after that. Um, Poseidon says Tim Duncan, would not develop if he wasn't drafted to another organization. Hmm. Tim Duncan wouldn't have been Tim Duncan if he was in another organization. That's arguably true. You can argue that. You can argue that he probably wouldn't have been the same in another franchise. That's a good point, Poseidon. It's possible. That's cool, Black Tiger. Reggie's arms are long as F, man. He could have lifted weights. Yeah, but I know Reggie was all about conditioning, so he was more about staying in motion, and he was about the conditioning and the cardio. I know Reggie used to love. I think he still loves doing it to this day. But Reggie, one of the ways he stayed in shape was riding bicycles. So he would love to bike ride, and he said it was one of the ways that it helped him stay in shape. Um, hey Chiefs, I know this is random, says Black Tiger, but Prime Jamal Crawford versus Prime Rip Hamilton. Who do you got? Rip Hamilton was good in the mid range. Jamal Crawford was good as a six man. I know he started before. I would give it to Jamal Crawford just because he was a little more of an explosive scorer. But Rip Hamilton was a solid defender and he was a pretty good mid range shooter. Duncan is an all time great no matter what team he went to. Well, his game is all time great. You just wonder would he have gotten the same. I think there are some accolades that he probably would have retained, but then there's some accolades he probably wouldn't have had. It really just depends because that's just one of those what ifs. Um, it's sad that Reggie and Iverson don't have a ring. True, because their careers would be talked about more different. Because Iverson took a pounding, in the era he played in, for being so small and being so dominant of a scorer. And then with Reggie Miller, let's face it, look at the players he went up against in his time, and the fact that Reggie was able to still have a career, um, play 18 seasons, I know some people say overrated, but Jordan in '95 without a good power forward would have had problems trying to beat the Rockets with Hakeem. That's why I said that I don't think that Jordan beats Hakeem in '95 because their weakness was that power forward, and that's why they lost to the Magic. The Magic were a more athletic team, and Horace Grant not being able to hit that medium range jump shot, not being able to get rebounds and play defense, it hurt the Bulls not having him. Jamal, okay, Rip needed what Reggie needed, off ball picks. He said, nope. Yeah, no, I would take Jamal Crawford because Jamal Crawford could create his own shot. He had crazy handle, could get to the basket. I would choose him over Rip Hamilton because Rip Hamilton was more of a he used to like Rip Hamilton copied his game off of Reggie Miller just in the mid-range game. Reggie Miller could do it. Reggie Miller always looked as if to go into the three-point line. And I felt that Reggie was probably one of the best ever, arguably the best ever, of being able to redirect his running when the screens would be set by the bigs, where he could get either a double or triple screen in the paint. Um, Dirk copied Olajuwon's moves. I would say some of I wouldn't say all of them, Clay. I probably would say some because they're very different when I watch those guys post up. Because remember, Dirk was mostly a perimeter player in the beginning. Uh, he redefined his game later on. But I wouldn't say all the moves. I mean, because Olajuwon, I will say Olajuwon does do a little one-legged fadeaway, but that's when he posts up. When when Dirk shoots it, when Dirk shoots it, he likes to post up on the right block, and then what he'll do is he'll fade back, and then like to shoot off the glass. That was Dirk's patented shot that he liked to do a lot, much more, which was much more fortunate. If it that was his efficient shot, that was because that's a very difficult shot in the angle that Dirk shoots it from. And because we always talk about Tim Duncan with the bank shot, but then you got Dirk with his one-legged fadeaway that he shoot off the glass. I still remember that one-legged fadeaway bank shot that he shot over Cephalosha in the Western Conference Finals of 2011 against the Thunder. That was a beautiful bank shot. Beautiful bank shot. Oh, that's obvious, Black Tiger. That's Ben Wallace all the way. I'm not saying Draymond Green is not a good defender, but you already know. Who is the better technical defender, Bruce Bowen or Ron Artest? I'm going Ron Artest. You know why I say Ron Artest? Because it's not saying that Bruce Bowen is not a good defender, but Bruce Bowen, uh, look at the way that he guarded some of the players in the league. Vince Carter, Ray Allen, Wally Serviak, Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Paul, Kobe. There's videos of him trying to particularly injure those players because Bruce had a very difficult time in guarding those kind of players. So I get it. He had to do what he had to do. Yeah, Iverson. Oh no, I never said Iverson. I never. Yeah, Iverson. Iverson's game was really not. And I get his teammates, man. It's true though. Almost every after big. That's true, man. That's true. Almost every big pretty much counted. Gets the majority of the chat sides with Hakeem. And I also wanted to do this just to give respect to both Hakeem and Dirk. Two international icons, definitely. Like I said, Hakeem is like arguably the most underrated top 10 great other than Tim Duncan. I think Duncan was so polished coming into the league, he didn't need that much development. No, absolutely not. TD had to be pushed a lot, though. The skill set came before the Spurs. Yeah, Tim Duncan, it was really more so his demeanor and just his attitude. Yeah, that was the key. Tim Duncan had the game. He just needed to be pushed. Nah, you have to develop every day to be an all-time great. Development never stops. Duncan was NBA ready, though. I'm back from racing, man. It was a close race, but I won. Many players have tried or copied Hakeem, including Dirk and Kobe. Yeah, and here's the thing that I would love to give Hakeem for, which is why I don't understand why a guy like LeBron would disrespect Hakeem just because he personally thought Jordan was better. And the funny thing is, Hakeem gave him his respect, and then LeBron goes on Twitter and throws a subliminal shot at Hakeem. I'm like, this is the same guy who you go to train in the offseason to try to become a better low post player. So, LeBron, you should really be thanking Hakeem. I remember Kobe even said that it's strange for a guy of LeBron's caliber that he kind of starts his game on the perimeter and that he doesn't really like to post up, which just tells me, and it's like when LeBron's game is really predicated on much more drives and the floor has to be spaced out, that just tells you that LeBron doesn't really work on his skills to me like he should, because I felt like if LeBron really worked on his skills in the post, he's that much more unguardable. And I said that what it does is it helps you because now the ball is not you're not being ball dominant, and that helps you. I told you, will give you energy to play on the defensive end. The 95, 96, and 96, 97. I got the 95, 96. I mean, he blocked Shaq. Bowan is a cheap defender, man. In today's game, he would not survive a whole season. Oh man, Tim Duncan or Shaq? LeBron's a great player, but he really doesn't have that skill set, man. Yeah, that 3-point rainbow versus Bosch in the 2011 finals. Oh, I remember that. That joint was as high as the shot clock. Yeah, Bruce Bowen tried to purpose injure. Yo, y'all should take a look at the 2002 NBA playoffs in the check out game one between San Antonio and the Los Angeles Lakers in the second round in the semifinals. Look at all the plays in the game when Kobe was being guarded by Bruce Bowen. And even during the off ball, Bruce Bowen tried everything to injure Kobe. I remember one play where Kobe was actually on the ground, and Bruce Bowen literally came over. He wasn't even near Kobe at the time. He decides to come and he steps on Kobe's wrist. I'm like, how you doing that with a player on the ground, bro? Like, seriously? That means that you're not confident as a defender that you could try to defend Kobe. Listen, Kobe's not easy to guard because Kobe is very skilled. So it's hard to guard a skilled player, especially when he gives you a different move and doesn't give you the same move twice. That's why Kobe said he always loved going up against a guy like Bruce Bowen. Because that Bruce Bowen was a dirty MF, man. He wasn't well liked by a lot of guys. Black Tiger says y'all forgetting Yao Ming. And Jay, speaking facts. I would have popped him in his mouth. Y'all forgetting Yao Ming. Imagine Yao wasn't injury prone and in a better organization. I wouldn't say the Rockets were a bad organization. Yep. Uh, they gave Yao a lot of talent. He just wasn't healthy. Yeah, no. Yao has some pretty good things. Clay Pro says people think Olajuwon is overrated, but what they don't understand is that Olajuwon was that one annoying player that constantly kept scoring buckets easily. Facts, Clay Pro. Major facts. Facts. Just ask David Robinson how Hakeem torched him so bad that David Robinson went to the podium at the post game in game one and said he had never felt so deflated in his life. David Robinson got his MVP, and Hakeem told Kenny Smith, "That's my MVP, and I'm gonna go out and dominate and show you why I'm the MVP." And what did Hakeem do? If they had an MVP for the Western Conference Finals, Hakeem was the MVP of the Western Conference Finals. Just look at that 1995 playoff run. He beats Karl Malone, Charles Barkley, 1993 MVP. Beats David Robinson, the MVP of the regular season, and I believe Shaq finished second. And I think Hakeem finished third. Then he finishes off in the NBA Finals, beating Shaq in the NBA Finals. And remember last year in the playoffs, he beat Barkley, he beat Malone, and then he beat Ewing. So when you're talking about the bigs of the game, the power forwards and the centers, Ewing, Robinson, Shaq, all Hall of Famers, all Hall of Famers. And his 1994 run, It's crazy because Olajuwon did it without a player averaging over 10 points per game in '94. And then in '95, they beat all the top teams in the league. They beat the 60-win Utah Jazz. They beat the 59-win Phoenix Suns. They beat the 62-win Spurs. They had the best record in the league that year. And then he finishes it off by beating the 57-win Orlando Magic that had Penny Hardaway, Shaq and Penny. Penny, second season makes first team All NBA. Shaq, like that's what's so impressive about those runs. Let me just look into the chat. Missed a lot over here. Shout out to Buki Allen in the building, man. Appreciate you. And I missed a lot of comments. My fault, guys. I know we was up to Clay Pro. Let me see. Jay says, let me just get back. Jay says that Dwight did the same thing to Great, trying to help him offensively. Dwight is the last player to turn away help offensively from a coach. Kobe's wrist, yeah, Kobe never tires out either. There's a rule due to Bowen's dirty play. Giannis or LeBron? I got Giannis. I mean, for LeBron, for all time, it's LeBron. Right now, Giannis. Man, LeBron is huge. I don't understand how you could say he lacks skills. He's one of a kind basketball player. He doesn't have the post footwork, but his handle, I can't even say handles neither. Nope. I can't even say LeBron's handles. Passing ability, I'll give you, Richard, but I cannot give you handles, especially not with the amount of turnovers LeBron has. LeBron's turnovers, part of it is his passing when he tries to force feed, and then his handles, especially when LeBron lacks focus, easy turns the ball over. So yeah, when it comes to physical freak, LeBron is one of a kind. Did you see Bowen do a Mortal Kombat kick to Serbiak? Oh yeah, I remember. I saw that joint. This dude coming out here like he was rated. No, he coming out. Damn, I remember when Bruce Bowen gave him that Liu Kang kick. I'm like, what's up, yo? What's up with you, man? Nobody thinks Olajuwon is overrated. You'd be surprised, 6 foot. You would be surprised. Chauncey Billups was Mr. Big Shot, and Bruce Bowen was Mr. Cheap Shot. Ah, Bruce Bowen was the original cheap shot artist. So that's where Zaza got his game inspired from. That explains why he injured Kawhi Leonard. Black Tiger says Hakeem versus Giannis 1-on-1. Oh, that's Hakeem all day. LeBron has the talent. His skills wasn't polished. If his skills were polished, then he would certainly be great. That's the thing. He really didn't polish his skills. It's not that LeBron doesn't have any. LeBron or Harden? I'm going LeBron. Hakeem Olajuwon is the best international player. Dude was great offensively and defensively. Olajuwon would crush players without dunking the basketball, just easy layups and jump shots back to back. Yeah, Hakeem was a finesse player. Hakeem was finesse. He had no post game until like year 18. I wouldn't say year 18, but it did take him a while. He can't shoot free throws. He lacks skills. If LeBron would have tried a post game, you can always grow as a player. Let me see. Richard says Tiger. They gave him Steve franchise. Uncovered Katino Mobley gave him T Mac. They did well around him. Health cost him chips, not the pieces around him. LeBron doesn't have handles, man. He has strength and change of pace. Curry or James Harden? I'm going Steph Curry. No disrespect to James Harden. Depends on what position. Do you think Harden will be the same player scoring over 30 in the 90s Western Conference? Well, I would just say only because of the pace. Because in the Western Conference they did play faster. There were more up and down teams playing at a faster pace in the 90s, even though the 90s was slowed down. The East was really much more of the banging, whereas the mid 90s in the West was really more up and down. Actually, you could even say early 90s. Shout out to May Zoom. Appreciate you, man, coming through. Jay says LeBron dominates the ball because he has issues. Nicely put, playing off the ball. LeBron's handles is like Cash Nasty handle no cap. Harden needs the ball usually too. Steph can play both ways. Both need a lot of coaching on defense. Lewis, how many players do you see with LeBron's size handling the rock like him dribbling in traffic? Not a lot, but I wouldn't call his dribbling polished though. It's like what Poseidon says, his skills are not polished. He certainly has them, but they're not polished. That's why I say that his skills lack pop. Let me just put it this way. LeBron's skills lack polish. Put it that way. LeBron's skills lack polish, which means if he worked on them more enough, he'd be that much better. And the thing is, it's crazy. With the numbers that LeBron has put up in his career, LeBron's handle doesn't look natural from the eye test. Yeah, I've watched LeBron handle. I mean, they've been calling crab dribble for such a long time. I've never seen him do a crossover. Richard, don't compare LeBron's handles to Magic. I feel Donovan Mitchell will be D-Wade if he progresses his game. If he can. That's right. LeBron does not have handles. He usually tries to hurry and drive or post you up. Go with Harden, Stephen Curry, or Seth. Oh, Chiefs fan. that's easy, bro. Steph is very good though. Steph is good. Uh, but I gotta go with his brother. Gotta go with his brother. You know, with what he's accomplished. Man, that's why I said for his size, and he doesn't need to. He doesn't need to. He literally dominates in every category. 6'7" crab dribbler. Chiefs fan. Anthony Davis or Giannis Antetokounmpo. Has the more polished game. Giannis is only getting better. I'm going with AD for now. Both of those guys could do it at both ends, but he is more polished at this point. Um, Lewis and chat, you all got to watch in the lab channel a guy by the name of. Oh yeah, I think I subscribed to this channel. Magic handled the ball with his back to the defender. So what are you saying there? Oh no, 6'1". He's not a LeBron fanboy. No, don't go there, bro. He's not a LeBron fanboy. No. Richard is not a LeBron fanboy. He's just telling you what LeBron does, but he is by no means a LeBron fanboy. No, not a chance. Not a chance. Would Steph survive in the 90s physical defense? Steph could certainly shoot in the 90s. The physical defense would be a little bit more difficult, though. 2008 Rondo or John Stockton, which reminds me, Jay Jefferson, shout out to you wherever you are. I gotta do that. I know he gave me the idea of the John Stockton video, which why in his mind he feels that he's overrated. Harden is better one-on-one, but he travels quite a bit. Both need help defensively. That's a more fair point. Yeah, that's the thing though. When he decides to play it, you still gotta. Rondo is a good defender. Stockton did make some defensive teams, which is crazy. He actually made some defensive teams. Um, I would just go with Stockton just because of his ability to shoot the ball. Obviously, he's great with the pick and roll. Um, he has one of the best winning percentage in history. Harden is actually good when he plays it. Oh Lord, please don't go there, fam. Please not that thing again. Um, he plays point forward for every team he plays for, aka point guard. Do you think I'm a Kobe fan or I'm objective? I really base my life on honesty. I really believe 6 foot 200, bro. 1 minute you say he's top five, then you say he's top three. You can never decide, bro. You can never decide. 1 minute he's top five, secondly he's top three. So 6 foot 200. Is Kobe top five or is he top three in your opinion, bro? He's like Richard. He's 3-6. Oh, but you're going down to winning. I mean, when you come down to winning, he said you should duo with Fizz Vegas. I've heard G Money talk about him. Don't know much about. I don't know much about Fizz Vegas. Don't know much about him. He's a Giants fan and he's a LeBron fan. I mean, that's cool. Is he biased or is he objective about LeBron? James Harden or Russell Westbrook? Oh, that's a tough question. That's actually a good question, Chiefs fan. That's a tough one. Yeah, because it's like, yo, you always, it's like, yo, he's always changing. And he admitted that he loves Kobe. 6 foot 200. Then if he's fourth, why is he top three? Yo, man, this is crazy. Magic in the open court, which happened a lot. Magic in the open court over LeBron all day. Many options with better defenses. One thing Magic doesn't get a lot of credit for is that the Lakers run their lanes very wide in the open court with Magic. And almost every time, always, you know, I would give it to Harden. Between Harden and Westbrook, I would go James Harden. More, more successful too when you add his success without Russ. Yeah, so Hakeem for his career, getting back on Hakeem, scored 26,946 points, and that's including with some injured seasons. And Dirk Nowitzki scored 31,560 points. Hakeem's career average is 21.8 with 11.1 rebounds. And I said with Dirk, he is, yeah, the only reason that Dirk's rebounds went down was because the last few years, Dirk was pretty much a shell of himself. Um, okay, Black Tiger says, who's more of an Odom or JR? I'm going with JR because even Odom finally like learned kind of, Harden is not good on defense. Now, see, I can't do that. I can't do that. Yeah, if you're being biased, nah. Yeah, 6 foot 200, but there are players who say that LeBron's better than Kobe. I'm gonna keep it objective, and I'm a big Kobe fan. But there's players who say LeBron is better than Kobe too. There's a lot of players who do say Kobe is better than LeBron. I'm not saying no, but there are players who say LeBron's better than Kobe. Bradley Beal or C.J. McCollum? I'm going Bradley Beal. Well, they both got bad contracts, but in terms of the better player, I'm going with Bradley Beal. Oh, that's I'm pro MJ. I love Kobe, but I'm pro MJ. All right, guys, man, continue to like the video, hit the subscribe if you guys haven't, share it on your social medias. If you guys would like to donate to the channel, you guys don't have to, but I left the links in the description. I left the links in the description. I left the links in the description box so that I don't have to put it in the chat. So you guys, if you guys would like to donate, you guys can. I left my PayPal and my Cash App in in the description box so that you guys don't have to, so that I don't have to put it in there. So, um, but again, yeah, you got to stay in the scene, Ryan. Exactly. Rondo's better a point guard than LeBron. Easy. Here's the thing: LeBron can play the point. It's just that he dominates the ball. That's just LeBron's play style. Richard is just saying that LeBron, just he plays it. I mean, LeBron is really a point forward, so that's all it is. More media sides with Ron, more coaches and players side with Kobe. That's a lot of coaches have said great things about Kobe over the years. If you listen to Pat Riley, Greg Popovich, hell, even Phil Jackson, who had issues with Kobe, when they had their rifts in the early championship years. Um, Frank Vogel has talked about Kobe. Uh, he gets a lot of Alvin Gentry. Like a lot of coaches have spoken big things about Kobe. Um, Kawhi Leonard or LeBron, I got Kawhi. My top five is MJ, LeBron, Kobe, Kareem, Wilt, in no order. Okay, okay. And I see it's funny, and shout out to Tyree because he had mentioned this. I see this a lot of the guys who have their list for the most part, they kind of favor the wing players over the big men. And part of it has to be because they'll say that wing players can get their shot off and create their own more than the bigs. The bigs have to be fed the ball in order for them to, do that. But that's not to say that bigs still cannot be impactful because you also have to remember there's a thing as interior defense and perimeter defense. And Damian wins a ring. Does he surpass Russell Westbrook? Hmm. What do you guys think? Does Damian Lillard pass Russell Westbrook if he were to win a championship? I would say no, just because Russ has got more accomplishments than him. Damian's going to have to catch up on his accolades if he's going to pass Westbrook. The only thing that Damian Lillard will do over Westbrook is win a championship. That's the biggest thing that's hurting Russell Westbrook right now because his legacy can change if he wins a championship. I think LeBron is top 12. I don't hate him. I just don't prefer betas. I like alphas. Okay. That's why he doesn't really play for the Lakers. LeBron really runs the point. Now Kawhi. LeBron overall so far. Kawhi needs time to tell. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jay. And I agree with you on that point because I said this many times before. People get offended with this, but I always say that LeBron's accomplished so much in his 17-year career. Kawhi does not have the accolades to match up with LeBron when it comes to his career. So that's why I'm going to choose LeBron over Kawhi when it comes to career accomplishments. But if you're asking me who's the better player right now, it's Kawhi Leonard. I've seen so many LeBron fans get so mad, like when people choose saying that, oh, Kawhi's better than LeBron. Sometimes people don't know what they're saying, and sometimes when people say that Kawhi is better. And I'm saying, are you saying career wise or are you saying right now? And that's what I always say. Who's better, Kawhi or LeBron? I said, if you're talking career, it's LeBron because Kawhi's not there. Kawhi needs to fill up his stat sheet a little bit, get a couple of more accolades to really start comparing himself to LeBron. Um, and Kawhi just turned 29 last month, just a few days ago. But when it comes to the best player right now between those two, I go with Kawhi Leonard. He is my favorite player, but I'm keeping it real. Um, can we all just move on? I mean, I didn't start it. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, bro. On any team that they played on, the ball would go through Braun, man. That's it. All right, man. Let's get off the LeBron topic because this is getting too much. I like Kyrie Irving better. I got I got Kyrie. Black Tigers got Dame all day. Okay, that's just me personally. I like Dame though, but I'm just going with Kyrie. That's just me personally, my personal opinion. Um, yeah. So Dirk and Hakeem are definitely. I don't know if I told you guys this, but I don't know if I said it in the chat. Just leave 6 foot. Just leave it. Just leave it. It's dead, man. It's dead. Just leave it. I personally like Aaron Rodgers. If we're talking right now, Chiefs fan, I'm going Drew Brees. Westbrook has had more help overall. Helps the numbers. Damian needs players to not disappear in the playoffs at times. Damian needs to stay away from Drew though. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Damian Lillard hasn't had the teammates that Russell Westbrook has, and the thing is, Westbrook's IQ, I keep always saying, pushes him back. That's what prevents him from winning. I've always said that. I got Russell Wilson, Chiefs fan. AI versus Kyrie, tough matchup. I'm going with AI. Kyrie is more efficient than AI, but I think AI is a more dominant scorer than Kyrie in his prime. If Dame wins a ring, he's better than Westbrook because he ended him last year. I mean, he did do that. He did do that. So obviously, Dirk is the better perimeter player. Um, Hakeem is the better post player. Hakeem is the better defensive player. I would say the better rebounder as well compared to Dirk. Dirk's got the three ball. Dirk has got definitely got the shooting. Dirk is the better free throw shooter. Obviously, I got Russell Wilson because he can do more with less. He's played on bad offensive lines and still putting up 4,000-yard seasons. It's true. I don't know why Russ got away from his elbow extended game. It's true. No, Hakeem has definitely got a nice face-up game. I agree, Richard. Yeah, I definitely agree. Okay, I want to ask you guys, which run do you think is more impressive? Dirk's 2011 run with the Mavericks and the teams that he beat with the players on the team, or the 95 Rockets with the teams that Olajuwon beat and the players that were on those teams? Which one do you think was more impressive? Dirk's 2011 run or Hakeem's 95 run? You can make the case that the 94 run was good too because he did it without a double-digit score on the Houston Rockets. He said Wilson. Let me see. Lamar Jackson. I see you're putting on Lamar. Dirk also had a great post game. They are both unique. Oh yeah, definitely. I still go with. I like Lamar Jackson, but I'm still going with Russell Wilson. Between those two, can you guys name Hakeem opponents? Younger generation will remember Dirk and Hakeem will be forgotten. Yeah, Hakeem is gonna be forgotten, which is one of the reasons I do these. Jay, Westbrook and Damian need to quit settling on the three. Dame hits it better, but their drives are almost unstoppable. I don't like the fact that, well, Russell, excuse me, I hope that Westbrook does not settle for the threes by playoff time. Forget the regular season, by playoff time. He's taking less threes. And I told you, Russell is shooting a career high 47% because he cut down on his threes. But Jay, I agree with you. He needs to get back on his extended elbow jump shot. And with Damian Lillard, he needs to stop settling for so much threes. We know that he can hit them at a high clip, but he needs to stop settling for them. Sometimes he thinks he's Steph Curry, and I'm like, dude, you got shooting from unlimited range. But yeah, if Lamar could throw, he would have won in the playoffs against the Titans. Yeah, his issue is he can't throw on the outside. Yeah, but no Jordan. Yeah, but no Jordan. To beat is like taking the crown from a fill-in champ. Ooh, ooh. Okay, Richard. The 95 Rockets over the 2011 Mavs. The Mavs were great, but caught teams at the right time. Interesting, Jay. Okay. Now that I think about it, if you look at how the Lakers struggled to beat the Hornets, you could say that the Mavericks caught the Lakers at the right time. Hakeem won't be forgotten. He's a top five two-way player ever. The reason 6 foot, you got to understand this, man. The reason that Hakeem kind of gets forgotten is because they say that he won when Jordan was out of the game. So that's one of the things that they hold against him. Number two, they'll also say that people have said that Hakeem's competition even wasn't that fierce when he left. And They'll even disrespect players like Patrick, and they'll disrespect players like David Robinson. These are two of the more under. They're definitely two top 10 centers of all time, two of the most underrated players ever. But people act like Hakeem was not great, and this is a Hakeem who was not about the media spotlight. You see, this is the thing. This is the thing about some of these players. Some of these players just go out and play basketball. They don't do it for the attention of the media. They just go out and play because they love to play. The problem with the media is the media will push and give you more. They'll give you more clout. Like the more you interact with them, the more you do that, they you'll be able to win with them because you have favoritism from them. But Akeem wasn't about that. Dirk wasn't even about that. The younger generation is going to remember Dirk more. Um, Westbrook and Cam are similar to me with IQ. Hmm. Portland Suns, Spurs, Knicks, Lakers, or Clippers. I got the Clippers. One-on-one, Steph is no match for Dame. Russ would beat Steph one-on-one. Yeah, because the one thing that Steph struggles with. Shout out to Karam in the build. Appreciate you. Joel says Hakeem because he had the toughest road to the NBA Finals and NBA history. He beat four teams that won at least 57 games or more. That's right. The 95 team faced no team that won lower than 57 games. Patrick Ewing is the most dominant college big man I've seen. Eye test. Like, dude was like, I mean, Hakeem may have beat Jordan in '95 with Cloud, but we never got the chance to see that. I still say I think that they probably would have got it, even though I agree with you, Rich. We never got to see that. I'm going Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Karam in the building. The media only likes players that show flash. Look at Zion. But this is why I said that. Why do you think the media is pushing Zion so much? They already had him in the top 50 players before he even played an NBA game. Lakers fan, full roster. The Clippers have the depth. Ron says that's why the media don't know what to do with Kawhi Leonard. And it's because they want to look at Kawhi as the next best player in basketball, but Kawhi is not about the media spotlight. He really doesn't give them too much to talk about. Kawhi is not about the glitz or the glamour, which is why the media is looking at Kawhi like, what do we do with this guy? And now if you look at the current media members in the media, they have come out and they've disrespected Kawhi, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Kevin Durant, because they're holding on to LeBron so much. They didn't mean to mention him, but you get what I mean. I'm just talking about in terms of popularity. And also because he plays in a big market. Exactly. Yep. Lakers will win the chip because it's destined no matter who they face. The media is annoying as hell. Kawhi is a G. Chiefs give the kid time. Mahomes has a big Brady hurdle and big pressure already against him. Oh yeah. You think players fear Kawhi? I, I don't know if they fear him, but I mean they do. Let's see. Karam says everyone said CP3 was washed. That's true. A lot of people said he was done. I'm gonna be honest with you, Karam. I thought I was one of those people too. I can admit that. I thought CP3's best years were kind of behind him, and he proved me wrong. He stepped up. He's played very well at age 34, 35 years old. So, I told you I'm one of the guys that got to give CP3 his respect and his props. I mean, he's proved to you why CP3 is one of the best, one of the greatest pure point guards of all time. Let's see. I know there's some random comments in here, but it's all good. This is what we do here in the chat in the Lewis Sports Network. We get random, and it's all good. It's all cool. Kawhi is the J. Cole of the NBA. Huh? Funny. Dirk is a better shooter, but Hakeem is the better overall player. Shout out to G Money. I agree with you. I'm just giving respect to both of these guys, what they've done for international basketball, which proves to you that these guys, that you definitely can be great. And ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow will be a two video special. And what I mean by that is I'm going to talk about Greg Popovich being the coach, possibly, of the Brooklyn Nets. I'm also going to talk about Maya Moore. And if you guys don't know what Maya Moore just helped accomplish, uh, she helped by a fellow named of Jonathan Irons to be able to be free after 22 years of conviction being in jail for something that he did not do. And Maya was able to help him get free from the court justice system. And I wanted to commend her because they're not talking about this enough for what she was able to accomplish. Helping somebody get out of jail, for what she did. My I commend her. I really do commend her. I got Josh Allen for Mayfield. Obviously has the talent. So does Josh Allen. Both of these quarterbacks actually have something to prove. Oh yeah, KD was the best player the last few years, but Kawhi is great. He just can't lock down a healthy KD. Oh yeah. You said I can't mention the guys who fears Kawhi. CP3 has been spectacular this season. Oh yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel that Josh Allen is better. I would go. Zion needed a loss in weight too. Yeah, he lost 20 pounds, guys. Zion lost 20 pounds. It looks like he maintained the strength, but he lost weight. Mavs are always getting those international players. Hey, at one point, San Antonio was getting the international players too. Yeah, Pop might go to Brooklyn. I heard about that. I heard. I would say Dirk is slightly an all-around better offensive player, but Hakeem is so far ahead of defensively. It is clear Hakeem is the better player. Yeah, when you come to overall two-way players, absolutely. Low Key T in the building. Shout out to Low Key. Make sure that you subscribe to his channel if you haven't. Brothers putting great content. I'm trying to lay off. I'm trying to lay off LeBron tonight, Low Key. I'm just focusing on Hakeem and Dirk. It was getting crazy up in here. You heard. But if you do Jeopardy again, who's the person you hate the most, man? I'm gonna answer you. Yo, Low Key, you better make that a $500. You better make that a $500 question. Nah, make it a million. Okay. Black Tiger said, "Did you hear about Madden 21 franchise situation? EA needs to shut down." Well, what's going on with Madden 21? What happened? Let me know in the comment section, Black Tiger. Mayfield has good players around him, but he didn't even get to the playoffs with maybe the best wide receiver doing the league. And I know who you're talking about, Chiefs fan. We talking about Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham. Did you hear about David, the tight end, is asking for a trade? Now, let me say, I'm gonna tell y'all tomorrow with the Brooklyn thing. I'm gonna check that out. Richard says Dirk is more influential through the whole league, has converted to his game style. Yeah, that's one of the things that Dirk doesn't get enough credit for. And I said before, Chris Paul actually idolized Dirk Nowitzki. I don't know if you guys know this, but Chris Paul said that Dirk was actually his favorite player when he was in high school. Same thing with Eric Gordon. He said that Dirk was his favorite player in high school. I didn't know that. I did not know that Chris Paul idolized Dirk Nowitzki. And they both just marveled at the way that he shot the basketball, especially to be that big and to be able to shoot. You already know how Kevin Durant feels about Dirk, and he personally thanks Dirk because of the fact that this is why, and this is why it goes back to Richard's point because you really do have to thank Dirk because he's one of the few big men that can honestly say that he was one of the greatest ever at his style of play. We always usually think of bigs as post players. No, he said you could dominate from the perimeter, which is what Dirk did. And shoot so efficiently too. Don't be surprised if Baker ends up in the AFC. Oh, we'll see about that one. Post and perimeter players are learning from Hakeem. When it comes to footwork, yeah, yeah. Even perimeter players are learning because, like I said, Hakeem had a very nice mid range game too. God damn, really? Dirk isn't better offensively than Hakeem. I guess he's talking about the wild card. We'll see if they could. Dirk might have a ring if he didn't get hurt in 2003. Hmm. I still don't think that the Mavs beat the Spurs in 2003, but I definitely think they pushed them to 7 games. And they were able to do it when Dirk got injured. Oh, Chiefs fan talking football on the B-ball. Yeah, yeah, it happens, man. Curry changed the game. He still isn't a top 20 player. Richard, almost all bigs can't do what Hakeem did. Uh, hey, we could discuss football. Dirk changed the game, and his fadeaways was unstoppable. Lewis, who's better offensively, Dirk or Hakeem? Break the tie. Who's better offensively between Dirk or Hakeem in their prime? In their prime, I have to go with Hakeem Olajuwon. I will give Dirk credit though. I've never seen a player like Dirk. But people have to also remember this though. When you look at Dirk's fadeaway, it's actually from Hakeem. It's just Dirk turned it into his style. People forget that when Hakeem would post up in the middle, Hakeem would actually fade back. He would actually fade back off his back foot. It's just Dirk changed it into the bank shot. He also sometimes would actually shoot off the but watch tapes of Hakeem, trust me. It's brown and olive because of the team. Yeah. Curry's top 15? I don't think so. Dirk had a unique fadeaway and won MVP based on offense. The man plays no D. He is all offense. That's true. That is true. That's actually a fair point. I do agree with you, Rich. Yeah, Dirk is a threat everywhere. Dirk changed the trajectory. Dirk is an Alamo. What? Shout out to Winetta Thomas. Appreciate you. Did y'all hear Popovich could be going to Brooklyn? I heard about that, Winetta, and I'm actually going to make a live stream tomorrow on that, on Greg Popovich. Um, Hakeem is better offensively because he was helping the team get offensive rebounds and a menace from the post. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Again, like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're sharing this on your social media outlets. Dirk versus Hakeem. Who is the greatest international player of all time? Keys fan says, is Jerry West and Julius Erving in your top 15 of NBA players of all time? Uh, Jerry West is in the top 20. Julius Erving is in the top 15. Jerry West is in the top 20. Julius top 15. I think Jerry West is actually better than D Wade. But yeah, Winetta. Yep, I did hear about that. Like I said, guys, continue to smash the like, continue to hit the subscribe button. Pop to Brooklyn will guarantee KD another ring. I mean, a fully healthy KD and Kyrie Irving. And the thing is now, if I know Pop, he probably would not. He probably would not trade Dinwiddie and LeVert, and he'd probably be able to make it work with those guys. Uh, Ron says I like Hakeem better, but I like Dirk too. They're just different. That's true. Yeah, they're both unique. They're both unique big men. You're talking about the greatest perimeter big man who was able to post up, and then you obviously have and then arguably the best mid-range slash low post scorer in NBA history. Um, all right, guys. So I'm gonna be on for probably like about 9 more minutes, and then tomorrow, everyone loves Dirk, man. His game is beautiful, especially people in this era. Dirk is the goat of him grabbing a chocolate woman. I didn't know Dirk loves some brown sugar. Salute to him. Oh, Black Tiger is basically talking about Dirk's wife. Dirk's wife is African. I do know that, and actually, Dirk, when he got married, he actually did the ceremony. He actually did the African ceremony. You know, that just tells you how Dirk appreciates culture. So shout out to him. Paul Pierce or D Wade? Oh, Chiefs fan, you got me in that Paul Pierce voice. Oh, that's easy. D Wade. Paul Pierce did have a pretty good career himself, though. Paul Pierce, one of the more underrated forwards of his time. Paul Pierce, they didn't call him the truth for nothing. One of the best scorers. And listen, man, I love Paul Pierce, but I'm taking D Wade all day. D Wade could do it at both ends of the floor. Great mid-range game. Had it not been for Wade's injuries, I think Wade would have probably been close to 30,000 points in his career. And also kudos to him for actually taking a lesser role to help the young players, in his last years in his career. So shout out to D Wade. I actually would rather have Pierce, but Wade is more explosive. I don't get why people choose Dirk. Hakeem is better defensively and rebounder. Well, Poseidon, you got to look at it this way. It's personal preference. I think sometimes people kind of get caught up too much in terms of like who people choose as to who's their better player. It's all about personal preference. People like Dirk a lot because if you look at what Dirk has meant for basketball, especially no one's ever seen a 7-footer like Dirk be able to dominate from the perimeter like he did and then able to change his game and post up. Dirk can score from anywhere on the floor. That's what made Dirk so special. That's why some people are going to be biased and choose Dirk. And if you ask the fans of the Dallas Mavericks, they're going to be biased and choose Dirk too. But I personally would choose Hakeem just because how dominant he was as a low post player and looking at his footwork. And Dirk was able to take some of Hakeem's elements and really kind of made him into his own. But you have to ask yourself this question too, Poseidon. Oh, I remember that. Pierce used to guard Kobe. Yeah, he did. I mean, in the matches that they had, absolutely, he did guard him. Um, Black Tiger says Shannon is the driver of that movie. Ups. Loki says Kawhi has done more in less time. Curry too. Kawhi's issue is he just doesn't have the accolades. That's just it. But he has done a lot. Like he doesn't have the stats. I shouldn't say accolades. He's got some accolades. He just needs to. He needs to put those some of the stats up there, especially his points. And it would help if he can get himself a regular season MVP because he's already got two Finals MVPs. If he gets a third Finals MVP and then he gets a third championship, he wins a regular season MVP. We're talking Kawhi a little bit different. But the thing is, Kawhi is so weird when you look at his career. It's like, where do you put him? You know, where do you put him? But like I said, much love to Rockets Nation when it comes to your all-time great Hakeem Olajuwon. Much love to Dirk Nowitzki and Mavs Nation. And again, Dirk Nowitzki fans in general, same thing with Hakeem fans. He needs to play. MVP Harden, LeBron, or Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm still going LeBron James over those three. Over those out of those three, still going over that. Chiefs fan, football is king. Oh yeah. Um, Giannis. Well, if we're talking about right now, Giannis. Kawhi has done a lot for a guy who I think doesn't even have 10,000 career points. There you go. Thank you for mentioning it, Ron. I don't like the Rockets. I can't stand Daryl Morey. I can't stand Daryl Morey neither, Karam. You and me are in the same boat. G Money. Dirk was a playoff choker until 2011. Um, I would say Dirk. To be honest, I don't think Dirk was a playoff choker in the early years of his career. It was really more so from 2000 and after two after the 2006 finals was when people really started to label him as a playoff choker. Because it's unfair to say '03 because he was injured. Well, 2004 they lost. Well, they lost in the first round of Sacramento, so that was disappointing. 2005 when they lost in the second round to the Phoenix Suns. What hurt them was really more so Game Six, and then the defense by Jason Terry. So yeah, Dirk kind of got a little bit of a label in there between 2006. He really got the show, had a big season. Maury's about the analytics, man. Man, Dirk used to ball, but his team never showed up. That was part of the problem. Dirk was put in numbers. It's just his team failed to show up. The Rockets or the Denver Nuggets. For now, I'm going with the Rockets. Ron says, I rank Kawhi above Curry. See, Curry got the regular season MVPs. He just don't got the finals MVPs. Richard, Dirk lost to Timmy enough to be labeled this and that. Yeah. You look at 2001, 2003. It was 2006 where Dirk finally broke through it against Tim Duncan. Uh, then Timmy beat him again in the playoffs, I think in 2009. And then, no, in 2009, I think the Mavericks upset the Spurs, but then the Spurs got them back in 2010. So Tim Duncan has more times than not gotten the best of Dirk Nowitzki over than Dirk has gotten over Tim Duncan. If Tom Brady didn't get 6 rings, who would be better, Drew Brees or Brady? By a slight edge, I would still choose Brady over Drew Brees. Chiefs fan. Having Sean Marion change that team, they actually has someone that could actually defend, especially defend the wing players. Good point, Richard. Good point. Um, Dirk and the Mavs nearly blew a 20-point lead in Game 7 and almost blew a 3-1 lead versus the Spurs. Yes, I know. I know. Would people look at Dirk like John Stockton if he didn't win an NBA championship? Wow. Ah. Because remember, John Stockton always gets the flack for not taking as many chances in the playoffs like he should have, especially in the two NBA finals he played against Jordan. I think Dirk choked from '06 to '10. People were kind of labeling Dirk as a choker after he lost the 2006 finals because people forget also Dirk's Mavs had a 2-0 lead against the Heat, and the Heat won the last 4 games, including the 3 games in Miami. But I felt like that series to me was a little bit rigged because, especially if you look at the free throw disparity in that series, I might have to go back to that series and look that up. Yeah, he made it to the finals as the lead guy. That's true. Dirk or KG is a hard choice. Future video. He didn't choke. His team just would fall apart. I would go with Breeze. He's more talented. No, Breeze is obviously more talented than Brady. I just trust Brady with the hands with the ball more in late game situations. I test Barkley is top 20. My Thunder this year were the best team in the clutch. Disagree, Richard. His team did fall apart, but Dirk didn't take over when he needed to. Dirk would ball out. His team would play good. Facts. Rigged. Chiefs fan, Bear Bryant, or Nick Saban. That's like saying KG choked. Hmm. People kind of get biased towards when it comes to like certain, because remember, KG spent all those years in Minnesota and only really had one good team. And in KG's prime, he was never really able to get out the first round. But a lot of it, they always say that KG always had, bad teammates. Well, let's look at the opponents that Kevin Garnett faced. Let's see. He faced the Spurs in '99. The Spurs ended up winning the title. 2000 faced the Blazers in the first round. They ended up going to the Western Conference Finals and pushed the Lakers to 7 games. 2001 against the Spurs. They went to the Western Conference Finals against the Lakers. 2002 faced the Mavericks. They lost in the second round to the Kings. 2003 first round to the Lakers. They lost in the second round to San Antonio. And then in 2004, KG's MVP season, the Timberwolves finally go to the Western Conference Finals. Uh, the Timberwolves made the playoffs in what, 96, 97? So who did they lose to? I know in 98 they lost to Seattle. Who did they lose to in 97? I don't remember. Don't remember. It showed they just didn't have good teams enough. Chiefs fan, hard choice. Mavs was winning game 3 of 2006. They had a 14-point lead until Wade was sent through the free throw line for thousands of time. What games were you watching back then, man? KG had, I respect your opinion. I thought the Mavs underperformed. Mavs were up 13 in game 3 in 2006. Yeah, you got some photographic memory, man. I think this power forward discussion might be a future discussion. What do you guys think? I think this might be a discussion that I might have to come back to. Do you think choker is used too much? Usually used by fans that never really played the game at a solid level, man. Things happen, swings happen. Where do you rank Kobe? Because Saban needs one more title to make history. Jay, exactly. KD is from the hood. He doesn't choke. Miller did have a Hall of Famer on the Pacers and almost beat the didn't have a Hall of Famer on the Pacers and almost beat the Lakers in 2000. Richard, Dirk could have won in '06 and KG could have won in '04. No, I can't say that about KG, G Money, because he went up against Shaq and Kobe back-to-back years in '03 and '04. Yeah, but Sam Cassell was actually injured in those '04 playoffs. He was injured. Sam Cassell was not 100%. That dude was a shell of himself out there. Yeah, he did have Troy Hudson, but Yeah, I honestly think that this power forward discussion would be crazy though. So Richard, you got Kobe in your top 10? Okay. Poseidon says, "Do you hate how today's game everyone jacks up threes and there's no substance?" Yeah, I don't like today's game. I don't like today's game. That's why when people, that's why one time when G Money said that the Rockets have a lot of firepower, I'm looking at this era and I'm like, everybody's averaging 100 points. It just looks weaker than others. Now, put these guys in the early 2000s with the defense. Would all these teams be averaging 100 points per game? I don't think so. Then you would really get to really see what teams have high, which teams are full of firepower. You would really see that. Rick Carlisle is a better coach than Avery Johnson. I agree with that. I agree with that. And which one? Yeah, he says is yeah. And which one of those players you named are Hall of Famers? Avery Johnson was all right when he was in Dallas. As a coach, yeah. Of course, Black Mamba, baby, one of my all-time favorites. LOL, the scores be 123 to 116. You should make a video about your top 10 favorite. G Money, you said this like a million times. I know, bro. I wrote that down already. You tell it to me almost every time. I wrote that down on my list. Man, that G Money. At 6 foot 200, man. He got that Kobe petition on deck in the chat. He said, if you don't got Kobe in your top 10, no, well, listen. Kobe's fourth on your all-time list, right? 6 foot. Are we certain? Or are we going to hear Kobe's top five or Kobe? Well, because he's four, Kobe's already in your top five. But then you can't say that he top three. Number four makes him a top five player in your list. So there you go. Chiefs fan has got me a question. He says, "Do you think if Will Chamberlain played in this era, he would get 100 points?" That game went into what was it, double overtime? In the game he scored 100. The game was played different back then. And I think the players would pay more attention knowing that Wilt is going to try to score 100 points. I will see, man. Top 10 defensive players of all time. Oh, that's a good one, Chiefs fan. I like that one. Jay, what? He said threes are exciting but boring, especially in the playoffs. Defense is soft enough. Make or miss, quit settling. I'll say that the threes are exciting when they go in. Fourth and third goes, babe. According to you, if 6 foot's feeling real good, Kobe's top three. If he's in a bad mood, Kobe's still top five. Yo, every superstar gonna have a documentary now. I mean, hey, Magic is getting one. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going. I'm going live on Sunday for Kobe's documentary. He's having an 8-part documentary starting on July 5th, and it'll run until July 26th. I believe the documentary is supposed to be run by Clutch Points. This is more so about the 2010 NBA Finals. Jay, yes, no D, man. Fast enough pace. I know Cal Van Noy is in my top 10. With his two after two after two. Uh-huh. Chiefs fan, Ray Lewis or Deion Sanders? I'm going Deion Sanders. I love Ray Lewis, man, as a middle linebacker, but I'm going Deion Sanders. I love close games in the postseason. It's true. But when it comes to my Thunder, I get nervous. I hear that. It's funny because Jerry Buss had always said that That he loves those kind of close games, which I'm a fan of too. Chiefs fan has got Ray. I got Dion. Wilt shot 63 field goals and 32 free throws for 100 points, man. He would score 100 in any era with that many shots. Well, if he's allowed to get that many shots, then I would say yes. Threes are exciting, but today's game is three shot after three shot after three shot, make or miss like harder. Come on now, that's boring. That's PIG. Yeah, at this point you're trying to it's like a whack version of horse when it comes to those threes. Damn, Darrell Green, chill, bro. That's a Darrell Green played Darrell Green played what, 19 years? I know he played for the Redskins. Which sport has the most intense playoffs? That's a good question. Baseball can get intense when it's the moment. Basketball gets really tense. Football gets intense. So does hockey. I'll take Ray. He is the heart and soul of your defense. The imagine Draymond guarding Wilt. Oh, I love that. Yeah, Darrell Green. I didn't get to see Darrell Green play, but just I was watching his highlights. Just from the highlights, he was to me a more complete player than because Dion was really more of a was it more of a cover corner. Um, but and listen, Dion was very intelligent at the corner spot. But I would take Darrell Green because he was a more complete player. Oh yeah, he's so overrated. The game that Will scored 100, the coach told him he had to score 100 that game, and he ordered Wilt's teammates to pass him the ball all game long. See, as long as you do that, as long as you do that, Dirk and Hakeem one-on-one would be fun. Let me ask y'all this question. Yeah, I'm gonna end the stream on this question. If you had to put Dirk one-on-one against Hakeem, who do you think would win that matchup? Yeah, true, man. Chiefs fan does give some good comparisons, man. Try to get some more though. I'll take Josh Norman over Darrell Green any day. I don't know about that one. Hakeem, Jay's got Hakeem. I would take Hakeem also. I love Dirk. Hakeem gonna wash him, not gonna lie. His defense is too cold too. Dirk in one-on-one. Okay. G Money says I say Hakeem would because he is more versatile and skilled than Dirk. Dirk has to get hot from shooting if he wants to win. 2017 Golden State or the 89 Pistons. 89 Pistons. But I did yo, listen. So before I close out the stream, and again, I want to thank everybody for coming through. Listen, y'all need to see Darrell Green. They got highlights of this dude. I believe if you go to NFL Throwback, or I think it's NFL Fan Zone. Shout out to those channels and type in Darrell Green. One of the most complete defensive players that I was able to that I watched on that. One of the most complete defensive players I've seen ever. Um, like that dude was that good, bro. I think at one Jay, I could be lying about this. I might not be sure. Chiefs fan, I'm going 86 Celtics. Um, I think there was a same. I believe that there was a time that I heard that Darrell caught up to Tony Dorsett. Is that true? They say that one time he actually caught up to Darrell Green was very versatile too. Like, and the crazy part about Darrell Green is that he played until he was 42 years old. I mean, Darrell Green, bro. This guy made 7 Pro Bowls. He was 4-time first team All Pro, 2-time second team All Pro. He won Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year in 1996. He won the Bart Star Award in 97. He made the All Decade team in 1990. He's on the NFL's 100th anniversary team. He won 2 Super Bowls, and he's in the Hall of Fame. I mean, that's pretty accomplishing, man. And like I said, one of the more versatile corners, man. Plenty of speed. Yeah, he was. Yeah, this dude played till he was 42. Really? Karam, who's playing tomorrow in the tournament? If you caught one against Dion, you scored. Dion was a liability against the run. Everybody ran to his side for a reason. Yeah, Dion was more of a pass corner, not a guy with that had to deal with the run. What about Revis in his prime? Darrell Revis was good. I did see Darrell Revis play. For real, yo. I heard that he caught Tony Dorsett on a play. A 4-3 in his 40s, and shout out to Tyree, man, guys. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Yeah, he was unfairly fast. One of his greatest matchups, Michael Irvin versus the. Oh yeah, Darrell Green over Revis Island. Yo, but I definitely, yeah. So yo, y'all got me wanting to watch Darrell Green now. I want to watch some Darrell Green highlights now. Said Asumuga. Oh wait, is he? Oh, he's married to Kerry Washington. Oh shit, I didn't know that. Oh wait, I remember this player now. I remember him now. Revis against Megatron. Those good matchups. Darrell Green and Rob Woodson was crazy good too before safeties days as well. Aeneas Williams was real fast too. Mm, Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith. That's what's Tyree, watch those injuries. Oh, that's right. I forgot he was with the Eagles. Yeah, but he was better as a Raider. Oh, so he's the one that's married to Kerry Washington. Okay. Barry Sanders, that Darrell Green or Champ Bailey. That's interesting. Yeah. I'm not saying that Emmitt Smith ain't good, but Barry Sanders wasn't blessed to play with the offensive line that Emmitt Smith had. But I will say this though, Emmitt Smith's offensive line was not pro. They weren't like Pro Bowlers, but it's like they were really good at protecting Troy Aikman and Emmett in terms of getting key blocks. Can't believe Detroit ruined Megatron and Sanders for real. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so this is an end to the stream. I want to thank everybody for coming through on this one. You guys were unbelievable in the chat as always. I urge you guys to continue to like the videos, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet. I'm talking about for other subscribers who haven't done that check out the videos, and I know you guys have, obviously. And continue to share this on your social media. So from the Lewis Sports Network, thank you guys for being here. I got a couple of videos tomorrow, so it's going to be 3 videos. Karam, let me know who's playing tomorrow on ESPN. Let me see what this basketball tournament is about. Tournament at 3. Let me see this. Oh no, that was 2019. Um, that's if you say green. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I'll be back tomorrow on the 4th of July. Happy 4th, everybody. Thank you guys for coming through. And as always, from the Lewis Sports Network, appreciate you guys as always, man. Bless up, live, laugh, love. Thank you. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Jay. That's why I said I would choose Barry Sanders. He didn't have the O line that Emmett had. They weren't Pro Bowl O liners, but they still protected Emmett in they were very good run blockers. They were good run blockers and pass blockers too for Troy Aikman. So yeah. But anyway, guys, have a wonderful night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care. This was a fun chat. Uh, awesome stream as always, guys. Thank you. And continue to let others to know about the channel. All right. Deuces. See you guys tomorrow. Happy 4th of July.